All right. I think we're live now. A happy Friday the 13th. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to go as long as possible on this stream. We're going to try to stream for the majority of the day. We're going to have a Friday the 13th kind of marathon session. We're just going to watch videos, have discussions. There's real new content we're going to follow, just basically wherever the day kind of takes us. So we're going to start this with a kind of standard ghost video debunking, but we're going to also leave it open to everybody out there, people watching. And if they want to watch something specific, we'll do that and hopefully not get any copyright claims on our content. So let's try not to make that happen either. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. And yeah, we're going to be taking breaks. We'll be, going into more discussions, try to fix things as they come up as well. So hopefully we won't have any issues. But you never know what's going to happen until it happens, right? So, okay, let's get into it. First of all, we're going to watch a little bit of Slapped Ham. So let's make sure that this works. I think we're good. Wow, I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, we are good to go. Let's get into it. It's already spooky already.
Can I touch you? Okay.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some strange videos that have left authorities worried. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more freaky content just like this.
Make sure you do subscribe to him as well. Slapped Ham deserves it. He puts in the time. Geometry Guy, how's it going, man?
Our first clip of the day is a strange one uploaded by TikTok user Jezebel TikTok. Take a look.
Yeah, it's a dog being a dog.
What are you doing?
Watching that again
Hey,
after the
GTA
dog
Online,
fetches
nice.
the frisbee,
Nice.
it looks like it's playing
Just watching
around
it
with
today,
someone.
It's going to be a little different. We are going to be doing like
It looks
a
like some kind of
marathon, so
invisible
this could
force is
last all
grabbing the
day.
frisbee and that they're playing
I
tug
know
of
that you're in
war
a
with the
different time
dog.
zone, but stay as long as you'd like, of course. But yeah, we're gonna do as many ghost videos, long form. We're gonna just play until I cannot do this physically anymore. Yeah, you like it? Is it actually showing up on the stream? Yes. Nice. It is. Good. Yeah, I wanted to do that. I wanted to make it look a little different.
This goes on for some time as the owner watches on, bewildered.
It's just your dog. It's a dog, man.
This
He's
bizarre
even
footage
laughing.
set the comments section abuzz as people scrambled to make sense of what's going on. The majority of people seem to agree that something's grabbed the frisbee and the dog is struggling to wrestle it free.
Man,
What are you doing?
Some more grounded ideas suggested that the dog was just playing around or that the
Yes.
frisbee's blocking its view and it's walking awkwardly because of that. However, there's a distinct moment when the dog starts walking normally in a straight line.
What are you doing?
fun.
So what do you make of this curious footage? What's causing the dog to behave like this? Share your theories with the rest of the community in the comments section down below.
Don't shame the dog for being a dog. Come on. You're better than that.
What are you
I say
doing?
that. Maybe they're not better than that.
Hey peeps, just a quick interlude to let you know today's episode is sponsored by Raycon, and they've gone and hooked you guys up with a massive 15% off.
Raycon
On TikTok, shows a young boy
sounds like
playing
some
around in a
military complex
yard
company.
when
Alright, what do we got
suddenly
here?
something strange happens.
So
Watch.
outdoor. Okay, he's in water? Yeah.
It looks like something pushes the boy in the back.
He just tripped. He tripped in a hole.
If you slow it down, you can make out a shadow or transparent shape that appears just behind the boy.
Nope. Still don't see it. Nope.
Some viewers said he merely stumbled, but
Yeah,
that
which
doesn't
is what he
explain
did.
the strange shadowy figure
found it.
behind the boy. Unfortunately, like a lot of mysterious clips floating around the internet, there's almost no accompanying information to run with. So for now, you'll have to watch the clip again and make up your own mind as to what's happening here.
There we go.
Paranormies are an amazing paranormal investigation channel here on YouTube.
They
They
are
travel
amazing.
around North America researching and exploring notoriously haunted properties, and more often than not, they capture some pretty freaky things on camera.
Oh my god.
In this episode, the team
Paranormies.
goes to investigate
They're
an
fun.
old cottage deep in the wilderness.
Is it really? Okay, I gotta take this.
That stereo too, right when that all happened?
The owners of the property told the Paranormies team that they frequently hear strange noises, not only in the house, but also in the surrounding woods. Mysterious shadowy figures have also been seen lurking around the property, but they always vanish when someone goes to take a closer look. One of the owners, Sheila, can't explain what's going on this remote property. While renovating the old cottage, she discovered some old photos that date back to the early 1900s. While browsing the old album, something strange happened to Sheila. When she started looking at an old black and white family portrait, she began to have a panic attack. She felt nauseous and lightheaded and almost blacked out. Sheila can't explain the strange episode and admits it could just be her imagination playing tricks on her. However, if this investigation is anything to go by, Sheila's panic attack could indeed have been brought on by something a little more sinister. The Paranormies team begins their night by setting up their equipment.
It stinks in here like old house, you know what I mean? Like the old wood from whenever this place
Very
was.
old, yeah.
They take a look around the cottage.
It's nice and it's warm though, thankfully.
Oh, I
What?
actually saw, I don't believe in orbs or anything, but I just saw something whip past your head in real life.
Like an
Yeah,
orb.
There's no dust in here.
Not long into their investigation, things begin to take a turn for the strange, as bizarre activity is recorded upstairs. Take a look.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Let's
sorry.
get the shit out of me.
Who are you? Holy Hi. My name is Jordan. This is Johnny. Can you
fuck,
tell
what's going
me
on?
can you tell me what your name is?
The rocking horse and chair are moving, seemingly all on their own.
What is happening here?
So do you think that they're faking this?
Can
or
I touch you?
is-
Holy.
it's-
Okay.
That looks like it's being pulled by something.
Okay, can you hang on a second? We just need some kind of gear to talk with you. Stop. Stop. Oh my god.
Electric again.
Again? Okay, can you
I
stop?
heard a noise from behind me.
It sounds like somebody's sitting on it.
The activity subsides as quickly as it began, and everything goes quiet.
Stop.
Grab a
So
K2.
are they going to investigate the like pick
Oh,
it
I'm
up,
sweating.
move it around?
Okay.
Okay, I'm not
Unless you
sleeping in
do
that bed.
it's-
Later in the night, the radio in the house
There you
begins
go.
to play up.
It wasn't lit up before though.
Hey, Teresa.
It wasn't so it what
See?
Nah, you
Oh,
didn't
what?
touch
Did you see
too
that?
much at all.
that was weird.
Why did it do
And
that?
been
today's going
off
to be a
this whole
special
time.
one, so
Trick before
because
too.
it's Friday the
See?
13th.
There it goes.
we're going to be doing
Why is
longer,
that?
a longer session today. It might be all day, don't know. We're just gonna kind of stream until
Is that you doing that?
until the stream's
Who
over.
are you? That's weird.
I don't know what are we looking at?
That is weird.
Is there anything else that you like to do? You can tell us.
It's like it's shutting off and turning on again.
Then in another room, a tap turns on.
Hear something?
Bathtub faucet turns on. Okay.
The water?
What is that? It sounds like
I hear water.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you like to play with electricity, faucets?
And so this one I always find interesting whenever things turn on like this. So one, electricity turning on, again, the stereo, it's probably their infrared equipment interfering with the stereo, and it just triggered the wrong way. But faucets are interesting as well. And this is actually, I think it was something that Taps did, Ghost Hunters, that faucets can turn on because of a phenomenon called water hammering. And that's when the pressure from the outside builds up too quickly. It doesn't have anywhere to go because it's, all the faucets are closed. And it can trigger these valves to get moved from the water hammer where they come on. Because if you noticed, it was just barely had any movement to it at all. So faucets that come on, I'm not sold on it, especially those kind of twist ones, because you're basically opening a check valve, and if the check valve gets hit with that water, it can turn on. So yeah. The fact that the two happened at the same time, that was a bit odd.
While in the bathroom, more strange movement is recorded. Watch.
See something,
Okay,
Reagan?
so... Okay, we're gonna do a Ouija board session. That's... Oh my god! Holy
So,
that scared me.
yeah.
There's no way that I fucking moved that accidentally.
No, you didn't. I was filming the whole thing. You didn't even touch it.
Let's go back, because you had it recorded. You were looking at that a sec. But my camera is
Way that
away.
I...
See something, Reagan?
More strange movement is recorded.
So look, it's right there. This thing is. Now, what I want to know is how old this house is. Yeah, the doll, it's creepy, but I think they even realize what it is. Yeah. So the doll is making the movement, right, on this thing, which this is sitting on. So it's like this house is built with trigger objects just that make movement.
Watch.
So it's right there. I don't think it's enough to make this
Okay,
the whole thing,
so-
but
Okay, we're gonna do a Ouija board session.
oh,
That's...
did you see it? Did you see it? All right. I always say that in a ghost show, if they are pointing to something or making a comment about something, then they're setting it up. So they're making sure they get the shot of him, the doll, and this piece of wood. Right? Why? Because your eye, whenever you're filming or doing photography or anything else, your eye focuses on what your brain is processing. In other words, if you're looking at the doll and you're trying to get a picture of the doll would be centered in the shot, but it's not. What is centered in the shot is that stupid board that's on this cabinet. So like this is the center is about right there, I would say. But watch what happens is when he zooms out, see it's not on him, it's not on the doll.
Okay, so...
And then when you
Okay, we're gonna
go
do a
back
Ouija
again,
board session.
see, look, what is this shot about? Why is it that he's in this dark room and he's focused on that board, hyper focused on that board? they gave it away because that board is about to happen, so that you can go back later and you can look and go, that board didn't get knocked over. That, you know.
That's
See?
God.
On that board.
Holy that scared me.
Yeah.
There's no way that
That's a
I
huge
fucking
red
moved
flag
that
for me.
accidentally.
No, you didn't. I was filming the whole thing. You didn't even touch it.
Why were you filming? Why were you filming?
Oh, my
it on
heart's
the
beating
board?
so fast, man.
It doesn't make any sense that you were just.
The team
super
didn't
hyper-focused
realise
on
it at the
that.
time, but while they were checking out the movement of the plank of wood, something eerie can be seen in the window behind them.
There's a set of eyes looking at us through the window.
Ooh, it's almost like these are infrared emitters from a camera. Because that is you. Your reflection. Yeah, don't.
Piercing red eyes, and
Two glowing red
Come
dots
on,
that
guys.
resemble eyes.
That's your
it just makes you
camera.
wonder, was that the creature that Sheila was talking about that was making these weird sounds, whether it was something mimicking an animal?
The team can't explain this sighting. They looked for lights outside, but nothing could be found. It's almost like something was watching them through the window.
My hands are... That scared the out of me.
Hours later, one of the team heads out to investigate the woodshed all
who are these
alone.
guys?
This is where the homeowners have heard some very strange noises
Oh,
at
look at
all
that.
hours of
Check out the sparkling from the snow as the infrared light hits it. That is so cool. That's actually really pretty.
the night.
Look at that.
While searching the area,
That is cool.
he hears this.
Now, Jordan went to bed, but I felt it was necessary for me to come check out this woodshed where they hear a lot of the sounds between the two houses over there. I heard some crackling in the bush that way. I can't see without it. Oh my God. I shouldn't even be out here. Oh God.
Listening again, it sounds like someone says, okay.
I shouldn't even be out here. Oh God. I shouldn't even be out here. Oh God.
Actually, I think I know
Hello?
what that is.
Oh.
I think that's trees rubbing against each other.
Then what happens next left the Paranormies team completely shocked.
What do they got? What do you got?
Watch.
There's another house.
That's where we saw the figure. Oh my God. Holy f. Just as I was saying that, it's right there.
Slowing that down, a dark figure moves past the window.
Just as I was saying that. Okay. Yep.
Oh my God. Holy
So where's the other guy?
f. Just as I was saying that, it's right there.
Where's
The creepiest part is, Jordan, the other team member, is asleep all alone inside the cottage. He has no idea that a dark figure is upstairs.
Just as I was saying that, it's right there. Jordan is sleeping. Holy f. I have to call him.
There is a part 2 to this investigation which I highly recommend you check out. I'll chuck a link to it
Maybe
in the
I
description
will.
box down
Maybe
below.
I
Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God. Did you see what I saw? Man, there's somebody like, it looked like
Something in
a
the TV,
reflection of somebody
Okay,
standing
so
up
there's
there.
buildings all around them. There's
Oh my God.
oh, you gotta get a mess. What? I'm
There's
so
something
confused
particularly
about what's
eerie
happening.
about allegedly haunted toys. Clips of moving dolls
so
always seem to go
confused.
viral. It seems they leave people wondering whether the item itself is cursed or whether there's a ghostly child
should
playing
watch
with
that.
the toy. In this piece of home security footage uploaded by Tatan Mysterio
two
on
or on
TikTok,
one?
we see a woman browsing her phone at
Which one am I
home.
on? Ah, I'm on
Watch
two.
what happens.
That's my issue. What's this? There we go. I think we're good now. I was turning up the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good.
As you can see, the teddy bear begins to move.
Teddy Ruxpin's gonna kill
Subtly
you.
at first, making the woman
Yeah,
with the phone
good, I'm
second
glad.
guess what she saw out
Oh.
the corner of her eye.
I was adjusting
Then
the wrong
moves more
the
noticeably,
wrong one,
and the
so
woman gets up to run
totally my
before
fault.
the clip abruptly ends.
Okay. Yeah.
This is another little viral clip with no info attached, so it's hard to speculate further.
Because someone's pulling it with a string.
Most
I mean, come
people
on.
in the comments section were certainly freaked out by the eerie movements of the bear, but ultimately it's impossible to know what's going on here for sure. So I'll throw this
I
out
agree with
to
that.
you,
There's
the viewers.
no way to know.
Let me know your take on this in the comments section down below. With all the death and sickness hospitals see, it's no wonder many
Shadowy
people claim
figure
that they're
caught
heavily
on
haunted.
camera in
Healthcare
hospital.
workers often comment on our videos saying that they've seen some really eerie things in the hospitals they work in. This next clip
yeah, I can
seems
believe
to
that.
back up these claims.
So you're in a
Reddit
you're in a
user
hospital.
Bored Guy
Okay.
Online wants to keep the location of this hospital private for the sake of keeping his job. He says the security guard he
Yeah,
works
because you've
with
been
often
caught
spots
faking stuff.
strange things while doing his rounds at night time. The guard would see mysterious things
Michael
so
Jackson in
often
there.
he thought he was losing his mind. That's when he dared his fellow workmate to take a walk around at night time
It does look like you.
and film what he sees.
The bear was doing a moonwalk.
The OP did end up walking around the hospital at night time while filming. While he thought it was unnerving, nothing particularly strange seemed to happen, or so he thought. Upon reviewing the footage, one segment stood out. Take a look.
What are we gonna see? Yeah? You mean your friend back there? Sure.
Watching that again slowed down at the end of one of the hallways, a dark figure peeks out from around the corner.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah? And then that was where it disappeared for a frame. I have this weird idea that this is still a camera glitch that occurs. Because you see it even in non-ghost videos of like when you get to certain angles, the black pops out like that. But let's just also assume too that this is a hospital where people work there during, even at night. Like if it is really a hospital, you're gonna have nurses and orderlies and people that are staying at this hospital. Or it's not a hospital and he's just filming at night because he's bored. Because I honestly think that if you ever want to get fake content, just have a bored security guard. Yeah. Because there was a section there
Watching that again slowed down
that,
at
like,
the end of
it
one of the
disappeared
hallways.
for a
A
frame.
dark figure peeks out from around the corner.
Yeah, you could see it. And then it goes like solid. See, and then it disappears
The Redditor
as
claims
like
that this part of the hospital isn't in use.
frame comes
it's late
up.
at night and no one else is around.
because it moves with him and then it disappears with him.
So what's to be made of this eerie sighting?
But let's just go with the obvious. Let's not say that this is a camera issue or this is his friend. Let's say that what he's capturing is legitimate. Okay. Maybe you need to figure out who the person is there. Because if you saw that and you're a security guard and you see this, your job would be to go check it out.
After seeing the footage, a lot
But
of
they don't
Reddit
do that.
users shared their own experiences in other hospitals. A
And
lot
it
of
disappears,
comments
like the right side
described very
disappears too
similar
with the- when it-
sightings,
it hits the other
shadowy,
color,
almost
so-
transparent figures lurking out the corner of their eyes. Sometimes called shadow people, this bizarre phenomenon has been reported all around the world. Often people who suffer from sleep paralysis or insomnia report encounters with dark beings that stare at them from
And I have experienced shadow people during the same kind of scenario too. Late at night when I'm asleep. I don't think I've had sleep paralysis. I'm not sure about that one. But I know that I've seen shadow people. And that kind of tells you something, that if you see them whenever you're not
corner of
really
the
asleep
room.
and not really awake.
time and time again. Witnesses will describe almost the exact same experience.
Yeah.
So is this sighting a genuine shadow person? Or is there another way to explain what's happening
Yeah,
here?
see, it disappears. Wow.
Unless more info comes to hand, it's likely we'll never know for certain what was lurking down this hospital's hallway.
I thought he went to another video, and that's why he was talking about shadow people. But wow, okay. Okay, Callan. Move on, we don't need to see it 6 times.
Before we get to that number 1 spot, remember to hit that subscribe button and tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our mysterious and creepy videos. This next eerie photo was captured by one of our viewers, Vittore Massaro. He was browsing a store and taking photos for his wife, who was at home at the time.
Actually, I want, I mean, it's obvious that it's this figure here, which is, you know, you're in a creepy store. What are you seeing? I really need to have a better, like a zoom app or something like that on it. But it's just, it looks like it's just a woman there. I'm going to guess. There was nobody in the store.
Time. He uploaded the photos to the cloud and didn't think anything of them until some years later when he decided to review them. That's when he noticed something strange. If you look to the right-hand side of the image, there's an eerie woman in the mirror's reflection. She's grey and almost translucent and is staring right at the camera. Her clothes look to be from a different time and she doesn't match the surroundings at all. The image was taken in Galveston, Texas, which is reported to be one of America's most haunted cities. In 1900, an enormous hurricane hit the greater Galveston area. It ripped through the city with 145-mile-per-hour winds, which is around 230 kilometers, smashing homes and businesses. It's estimated that 7,000 buildings were destroyed in the storm, leaving around 10,000 people homeless. A further 6,000 to 12,000 people died tragically in the hurricane. At the time, it was the deadliest natural disaster in US history. It's this enormous loss of life that has led many to believe that Galveston is heavily haunted. Some say that if you're downtown in the middle of the night, you can hear screaming and pleas for help, but there's no one ever there. Other campfire legends say you can see the victims of the storm staring back at you from reflections in glass or mirrors throughout the city. It's these stories that make Massaro's photo all the more chilling.
It is not. Okay. All right. There. Thank you. Oh, got it right at the right time. Okay. What could this possibly be in a creepy store that has tarot cards, these dolls all around? He's obviously in like a, you know, esoteric shop or I know there's another word for it. Like we go to them all the time when we visit places like that. But I honestly think that this is a reflection of a reflection. So you're seeing this, that this person is not standing there. Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't look anything to me. It looks like you're seeing this through another reflection of something else, in that it's blending into the background, and that's why it looks the way that it does. And I think we also have the reverses, like whenever you see faces in objects that don't have faces, you also see scary stuff in things that are obviously faces if it doesn't look right, like the dark eyes and all that stuff. But we don't also have another person there to compare it to, because you can see, like, here's this object there, so his angle is that he's, you know, off to the left of this taking the photo, so she's going to be like over to the right. He just doesn't remember her. That's really all it is.
Could this really be a woman who lost her life in the Great Storm of 1900?
No, it's not. Maybe it's the ghost of a woman, but not the woman.
Now, if you can't get enough of our content, then don't worry, we've got you covered. Check out that scary video on the top there.
Huge collection of scary
Otherwise,
videos.
we have massive, scary, curated paranormal playlists
Scary
right there that'll keep you
videos,
entertained.
Slap God, he's
Now leave
got
us a comment down below,
1,108
smash that thumbs up
videos.
button.
Wow.
And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's probably what it is. Here, let's do this one.
How you doing? I'm Callan, and this is Slap Ham. So today
I
we've
like
got something a little bit special. It's some bonus content for the week. It's a massive compilation of some of the
On the road.
So M23. So this is in the UK. I'm assuming that's European based on it's a motorway. But yeah, the shiny here, the doll makes a lot of sense. And like, can you imagine being in a creep shop, like a creepy shop, having a creepy doll? It's like, who would have thunk it? No, it's a ghost. it's just a ghost.
As they pass, they don't seem to notice that there's actually a mysterious figure standing just off to the side. Take a look.
Okay. Yep.
The figure lurks in the shadows at the top left of screen, and it's only slightly visible to the naked eye.
Yep.
Although it may be difficult to see at first, the figure soon begins to walk into the light.
Yep. And it's there's something else going on there, but the thing also to look at too is that there's like this weird line, this weird dark line here. So there's obviously a light shining down, so that's where you get the shadow. So I do think it's someone walking. But what I want you to look at is as this car drives up.
It looks tall and
So it's
lanky
normal,
with long,
it's
thin
normal.
legs.
And then
Up
it
until
just
this point, you may
disappears.
be excused
And
thinking.
look. The car was here and here at the same time. That's it.
Key with long,
Look,
thin
watch it.
legs. Up until
Disappears.
this point, you may be
And
excused
then there, it's still
thinking
there.
it's simply a person. But what
And then
happens
look at that
next
car.
will certainly change your mind.
And it's warping everything around it. Look how it's warping everything.
As you can
Yep.
see, the figure suddenly drops down on all fours and runs away at top speed. It looks as though it's actually some sort of
So I think what's happening is that there's obviously a person here, and then they realize that they're too close to the road. They walk over here, and then
hairy
the camera
creature
catches
like a
up
large dog
through
or wolf.
all of the really crappy compression.
As soon
Look,
as
see?
it starts to run, it seems clear that it's not human at all.
I think the person realized there's a car coming. Get the hell off the road. Right here, see?
Videos like these are often hard to analyze due to a lack of accompanying information. In this case,
Or
all
good
we
quality.
have is this strange piece of CCTV footage, and we're left to mull over the details in our own minds. Was this strange shadow really an animal? Take another look and let me know what you think in the comment section down below.
Yeah, I think it's a person, and then the video compression just because look, that car had 2 headlights, now it's got 1. So this area over here is just like the camera goes, I don't know what's there. Just, I'll phone it in.
Taking family photos is something that millions of people do all around the world in order to preserve happy memories. However, sometimes the photographer manages to catch something they didn't expect on camera. This image, uploaded to Reddit by GLBBLV25,
What are
was
we gonna
captured
see?
on
What are we gonna see? Please don't tell me that you think this is a ghost.
Christmas
Please.
Day 2012. The young girl in the
You think
image
that's
is
the
the
ghost, don't
uploader's
you?
sister who was taking part in a performance held at their school. On first glance, the picture seems innocent enough. However, if you take a close look at the background, you may notice something strange. There appears to be a pair of ghostly white legs. They seem wispy and ethereal, and in parts are actually transparent. In the photo's description, the uploader notes that it was taken 10 years prior, and ever since then they've believed that it shows something paranormal. The uploader also mentions that they're 100% certain there was no one standing behind their sister when the photo was taken.
I'm not even debunking
They
this
go
one.
on to say that when they were in the 8th grade at the same school,
I'm not even-
2 students
I'm not
who
even
lived
going to
close
try.
by had committed suicide only a few days
Oh
apart.
God.
Despite the uploader's thorough testimony, several viewers have suggested that the strange image is more likely to be the result of long exposure. So what do you think? Has this
Long
photo really
exposure.
captured a ghostly entity? Or was the uploader mistaken and there really was someone standing behind his sister the whole time?
God, I want to say stuff about it because it's obvious what it is, but you know. And I think that was from Kazakhstan.
This video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Viral Press and showcases a snippet of surveillance camera footage captured inside a police station in northern Thailand.
Ooh, women, did you see
Take a
something?
look at what happens.
Oh,
Chàng băm hay là chẳng qua mó mà cây sẽ đang nặng rồi đến yên rồi đó.
wow.
Nặng đó.
Dude, you need to pay attention.
Cái đi hẳn rồi.
Xua hắn này.
Hẳn chưa?
Yep, yep.
Watching
Whoa!
that again, we can see a snake slither in through the front door. It cautiously approaches the man, who's completely oblivious as to what's happening.
Mó hẳn rồi. Cái đi hẳn rồi.
Xua hắn này.
Hẳn chưa? Hẳn.
Then, just as the reptile rears its head to strike, the man turns. Startled, he manages to raise his leg just as the snake lunges forwards.
Mó hẳn rồi. Cái đi hẳn rồi.
Xua hắn này.
Hẳn chưa? Hẳn.
The man eventually is able to subdue the
Wow.
creature. He then shows it to one of the police officers that's come out to see what the commotion was.
Wow. He's like,
Luckily, neither the man nor the snake were harmed during the incident, and the snake was eventually released into bushes some distance from the police station.
yeah.
While it's
That's
not
all I'm
known
thinking in
whether
my
the
head,
snake
dude.
seen
Nope.
in this video was
Nope.
venomous, there's still no
Nope.
telling what could have happened had it successfully sunk its fangs into the unsuspecting man's leg. It just goes to show that danger could creep up on you in the most unexpected of places.
Xua hắn này.
But you like that happens in these kind of countries all the time where they're just
Reddit
like,
user Haslan
they're like,
Hafiz
"Oh, look,
97
a
shared this
hypervenomous
piece of
snake.
footage
I'm
to
gonna
the
pick it
social
up."
media platform in an apparent attempt for answers. The brief clip, which was captured in Malaysia, shows something strange happening at night time. Take a look. The figure is some distance away, making it hard to see in any great detail.
is it
It
something
appears to
behind
be
her?
wearing a long white robe or dress, and it walks as though it's gliding across the pavement.
It does not. You can see her legs moving.
The figure's identity remains a mystery to all those who have viewed the footage, including the uploader themselves.
We had some good ones, but then,
Most
you know,
have
you
been
get that
quite
kind of
spooked
stuff.
by the video, noting the figure's obvious ghost-like appearance. One theory that seems to be gaining momentum is that the figure might actually be a woman dressed in Muslim prayer garb, who's returning from a nighttime prayer service. While this is certainly possible,
Yeah,
there's little denying
that seems more
seeing
legitimate.
A person walking along like this at nighttime immediately conjures up ghostly images in one's mind.
No, it doesn't.
Especially if you're familiar with the tales of La Llorona and other similar White Lady spirits that are said to roam the earth alone under the cover of darkness.
And what was interesting is that as we're assuming that it's a female. It could be a man too, but when they walk in front of this pole, what was interesting is that if you see the camera can't tell the difference. So it literally absorbs the figure all into one. It just tells you how bad cameras are. Look at that. See, it's still kind of sticky and it moves quickly.
A Reddit user named Westway09TN has a security camera set up outside their home,
Well, this
just
is
like
not in his
millions of
bedroom.
others around the world. These cameras are designed to monitor our homes and ensure our safety while we sleep. However, sometimes they catch some seriously unexplainable things. Take a look.
So let me guess. It's going to look like a ghost or not have legs or something like that. You lost chat for a minute? Okay.
The uploader notes that the footage was captured at 3:52 a.m., a time known as the witching hour, often associated
I thought 3 o'clock was. So it's within the witching hour, I guess, from 3 to 4 a.m.
with paranormal activity. As you can see, a large
Oh, that's a
glowing
good one
orb
too.
proceeds
Well, see, the thing about it is, like, I think,
to fly by the camera before finally
or
disappearing
like some sort
off
of animal.
screen.
I could see that. Yeah, it does look like something's. It looks like it's kind of running away. I think what makes it look like it's floating is that it has like what looks like a light on the ground, which makes it look like it's up in the air. But I think that's the lens, because you're seeing like several objects that are also here. It's like, I was hoping I could go back a little more. Here we go.
As you can see,
Looks like a guinea pig, yeah.
glowing orb
See, like, it's this here. Oh, look at that. It's actually in two different places at the same time. How is that possible?
proceeds to
Which happens often.
fly by the camera before
The light here, because there's so you got a light here because there's the shadow is coming from this pole here. So there's a bright light here. Okay. There's no shadow of this over here, which means it is on the ground.
finally disappearing.
I'm gonna
off
I'm gonna go with
screen.
you. Actually, I'm just gonna say it's an opossum. 100% opossum.
The object definitely looks as though it has a straight trajectory as it moves. It doesn't look to be floating around aimlessly like one might expect a piece of dust or spider's web to do.
It's a
Because of these
cat
strange
or
characteristics, it's understandable why the
yeah,
uploader
yeah. It's just it's like
was probably at least a little bit freaked out by what his cameras captured. Many paranormal enthusiasts
you can actually
believe
see like its
orbs
back
to be
legs kind of
supernatural in nature.
bouncing a little bit.
However, these days it's
Or a
just as easy
rabbit
to find
or-
someone who believes that orbs are little more than dust particles
No, it's a possum.
reflecting the camera's
I
light.
don't know why I'm
or
even
even
saying
an insect
it's not.
moving
It is
across
definitely a
the
possum.
camera's lens. In this case, it seems that there might actually be something a little more mysterious about this particular orb, due to its large size and movement.
Okay, it's a thick cat. Okay.
So what's your stance on objects like this? Do you believe they're supernatural? Or do you think there's other ways to explain them, like dust, insects,
Chunky
or
cat.
spider webs? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something on the. I don't think it is because the light starts diminishing after it gets past the pole. I think you're right. It's something on the ground.
This creepy photo was uploaded to Reddit by user BrokenStrings94. It's supposedly a photo of their nephew captured in a wooded area of Upper Sandusky, Ohio.
Yep.
It seems the two were out for a typical stroll when the photo was taken, and upon initial inspection, it may have looked completely normal. However, if you take a closer look at the image, you'll see
All right. So, break it down. Yeah, you got a collar. It comes out really wide. You have this, which if it was, it's you know, that. There's his skin, which is right there. There's the hunting eyes, which this kid doesn't have eyes in this picture either. And then you got the trees. So double exposure. I'm gonna see double exposure.
something that might just give you chills. There appears to be a mysterious man in a large coat standing right behind the
Yeah.
uploader's
It looks like
nephew.
this, just like
Some have suggested the mysterious figure is probably little more than a case of pareidolia, the tendency for one to see meaningful shapes and patterns in
that's
plain
a scary
objects.
pareidolia.
The
Jesus.
uploader too has noted that their nephew was standing about
Someone needs to
300
break that
feet in
wall
front
down,
of
man.
several trees.
That
Their
wall doesn't need to
branches
exist.
Could be responsible for the strange shapes we're seeing. Add to that
Yeah,
the
it's
fact
either-
that the photo
I think-
itself is about 10 years old and has poor resolution, and it seems more than likely that there is a logical explanation.
It's 35
for the
millimeter
strange
film,
anomaly.
so they, or
Still, it seems the longer
110
you stare at the
camera.
photo,
They-
the
they-
more
they double
lifelike
exposed
the
it.
mysterious stranger actually becomes. The following video, posted to Reddit by user OKBudget818, shows a young boy straight up spitting some fire for the camera.
Go to the plate, yeah. Yeah, the metal plate right next door. Yeah, that's all I have in store, yeah.
As he attempts to
British
impress the
kids
audience
rapping.
with his freestyle skills, something rather creepy happens when a disembodied shadow appears.
Okay, where?
Take a look.
You go into the abyss, yeah. This is kind of crazy.
Okay.
And why are you so lazy?
The boy doesn't seem to notice and continues his song.
Yeah, I don't discover anyone. I'm slow.
About 20 seconds after the strange shadow brushes past the wall,
Okay.
something even stranger happens. Take a look.
Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, really, really cool.
As you can see, the door next to the boy suddenly opens.
There's someone in there.
He seems genuinely startled and immediately turns to investigate. He soon stands up and enters the adjacent room, only to discover there's nobody there.
Yeah. That's his brother or little sister or something like that. That's exactly what that is. They knew he was rapping in there, so they opened the door. You could see him you could see that someone was there.
Several skeptically minded viewers think that the mysterious shadow seen earlier in the clip might actually belong to someone who's later responsible for opening the door.
Bingo!
If this is the case, it's unclear whether or not the boy is actually in on the prank.
I don't think he is.
There's certainly something
I think
unnerving about the
someone
boy's
hears
initial
him.
reaction that seems to suggest he was really quite shocked when the door
Yeah,
opened.
I think someone knew he was rapping and wanted to pick on him. Like they were trying to scare him because you could see him moving. You can see the person moving in the next room.
Whether or not it was moved by a human prankster or something genuinely paranormal is still unknown. Take another look at the footage and let me know what you think's going
The
on.
shadow is
in the
weird
comment
though from the
section
angle.
down below.
I wouldn't imagine that it would be there. But you can see it there too, so that's the weird thing. See right there.
Many urban legends tell of a story of a
Yeah,
deranged mental patient who escaped an insane asylum
I agree
to
with
prey
that.
on nearby men, women, and children. While these stories are often complete fabrications that play on common fears and misconceptions about individuals with psychological problems, in the case of the Cropsey legend, a killer associated with a mental
Cropsey.
institution who was convicted of murder,
Yeah, actually I can go
didn't
back.
turn out how
Let me show it
most
to you real
people
quick.
would expect.
Okay, so look right here. See? You can see them moving. So that reflection is from the person in the other room walking away. So you can actually see them disappear too. So
And let me
So
know what you think's going on.
the
in
door's gonna
comment
open.
section down below.
It's really cool, yeah, really.
So see right here, look up here. There they go, they walk away. Now they're out the room.
Many urban legends tell of a story of a deranged mental patient who escaped an insane asylum to prey on nearby
I like my
men,
mental
women,
patients
and
not
children.
deranged.
While these stories are often complete
They're the better ones.
fabrications that play on common fears and misconceptions about individuals with psychological problems,
But you're the
in
one that
case
just
of
said
the Cropsey
deranged.
legend, a killer associated with a mental institution who was convicted of murder, it probably
Murder.
didn't turn out how most people would
All right.
expect. According to the most common
I'll let you know if
iteration
you-
of
if
the
you miss
popular
anything.
legend, which circulated around New York City through the 70s and 80s, Cropsey was an escaped mental patient who hid in the tunnels underneath an old tuberculosis hospital during the day. At nighttime, he would supposedly prowl the darkness, in search of wayward children and vulnerable targets to prey on.
I wonder if that's real.
Some
If that's real, that's
iterations
really
of the tale
scary.
claim that he had a hook for a hand, and the character even made an
Hook.
appearance in The Burning, a 1981 slasher film.
Gather
Although
around
it's
the
a thrilling
campfire.
tale, no such figure was ever found
love
on
that.
Staten Island. Some people even believe that this story was just a clever way to keep kids and teenagers from exploring the many abandoned factories and institutions
Oh, that's a good
dotting
one.
the landscape of Staten Island at the time.
that's a
Nonetheless,
really
while
good one.
the details of the Cropsey legend may have been exaggerated and distorted over the years, the tale does have a strong basis in reality. The story has its roots in a string of disappearances from the early 70s to the late 80s. Throughout this period, children went missing around Staten Island, and although authorities suspected a man named Andre Rand from the start, they simply couldn't find any concrete evidence to detain him. Despite having been convicted of sexually assaulting a girl in the late 1960s, Andre Rand had somehow managed to keep his job as a custodian and orderly at the Willowbrook State School, a mental institution on Staten Island that he'd been working at since the mid-1960s.
Oh, that's fun.
Although the institution didn't seem to care about its employees' backgrounds, his shady past eventually came to haunt him after the disappearance of a young girl named Alice Pereira on Staten Island in 1972. Aware of his criminal record, local police questioned the man soon after the girl was reported missing. However, despite their suspicions, they didn't have enough evidence to detain him, so they had to let him go. Over the next 15 years, he was thought to be involved with several more disappearances, but he was
wow.
only charged in one incident, wherein he kidnapped 11 children and brought them across state lines to buy them lunch. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the incident, but he only served 16 months. Once he was
Wow.
out of prison, the disappearances continued. Finally, in 1987, a girl named Jennifer Schweiger was reported missing, and she had last been seen with Andre Rand. By this time, the Willowbrook State School had recently closed, and its large campus had become a prime location for squatters and vagrants, including the recently unemployed Rand. Suspicious of the man and aware of his whereabouts, the local authorities searched the school.
I also wonder too if
and after more than a month, an
ghost
officer
hunters were
noticed
in
what
there
appeared
too.
to be a shallow grave on the premises.
Not
Soon
good.
after the grave was discovered, the police dug it up and identified Schweiger's body. Nearby, police found a makeshift camp that had been erected by Rand, all but confirming their suspicions. Following this discovery, Rand was found guilty of first-degree kidnapping, but they didn't have enough evidence to convict him of murder. He was sentenced to 25 consecutive years in prison, and he was set to be released in 2013. However, in 2004, more evidence was uncovered that linked him to the 1981 disappearance of Holly Ann Hughes, a
Oh,
young
wow.
girl from the Staten Island area. Again, they couldn't convict him of murder, but he got another first-degree kidnapping charge and was sentenced to another 25 to life in prison. It looks like he'll be eligible for parole in 2037. So if you live in New York City, then you should be extra careful and pay close attention to the headlines around that time.
In 13 years, I think the guy's not going to be around in 13 years. I hope.
Have you ever seen a mannequin that looks so lifelike that you could have sworn it was a genuine human body? If you have, then you're not alone, and this may explain why so many stories of corpse mannequins have popped up over the years. One fateful day in 1976,
I know they had the one
a studio was filming an
incident.
episode of The $6 Million Man at the New Pike Amusement Park in Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
A hanging mannequin was obscuring a shot, so one unlucky film technician had to move it so that the crew could continue filming. As he started to get it out of the way, an arm broke off, and it became pretty clear that this wasn't any ordinary mannequin. Within an instant, he noticed human bone and muscle around the broken piece of the mannequin's arm,
Yeah.
and the crew quickly realized they were dealing with a corpse. After some investigation,
I've
it
heard
was
about this
found
story.
that the corpse belonged to an old criminal named Elmer McCurdy.
Yep.
Having been linked with a series of unsuccessful train robberies and bank heists, he eventually met his end after being shot by police officers in 1911. Due to his lack of friends or family, nobody claimed his
1911
body,
is
and it was
when
quickly
he got
embalmed
shot.
and put on display by a dubious undertaker. At some point in 1916, some carnival owners posed as McGurdy's brothers to con the undertaker out of McGurdy's body. From then on, the body was used in sideshow attractions by a slew of different owners across the United States, and it eventually found its home at the New Pike Amusement Park. Upon being uncovered by the film crew 65 years after his death, McCurdy was
1977.
finally buried
Look
at
at
a
that.
cemetery.
He died in
Oklahoma.
1911 and he was buried in 1977. Oh my God! And his corpse was a side show
If you've ever
attraction.
been on a road trip, then you've probably dealt with your fair share of questionable motels. Between
Oh,
the
yeah.
drug deals, questionable hygiene, and strange characters that frequent them, there's no wonder that there's so many urban legends
wasn't
that
drug
have
dealing,
centered
though,
around
so,
these
you know.
dilapidated venues. One of the most common stories describes a family or individual unwittingly spending the night in a room with a corpse under the bed.
Ugh.
Still,
I think I've heard
despite
about
the
this story,
legends, there
too.
were never any verified instances of
Yeah.
this happening until a couple booked room 222 at a Memphis hotel in January 2010. Upon entering their room, they immediately noticed a foul odor, and no matter what they did, they couldn't cover it up. Coincidentally, detectives from the Memphis Police Department investigated the motel concerning a missing person case a couple of times over the next few days, but they never checked out the Sargent family's room, and the hotel staff claimed they hadn't noticed anything strange about the room.
Oh, come on.
The missing woman was Sony Millbrook.
They
and
probably
she
didn't
and her
even clean the
family had
rooms.
been staying in room 222 at the motel for several weeks before she had allegedly checked out. Despite having checked out, she was reported missing after she failed to pick up her children from daycare. However, the trail was
I wonder
cold
how long
and the
ago
police
this
couldn't
was.
seem to find a lead. In the meantime, the sergeant couple complained about the room to the motel staff, but they refused to let them stay in a different room. Sick of the smelly room, they stayed at another
no worries,
hotel
Teresa.
for some time.
I appreciate you
They
watching.
eventually came back because they couldn't find a better price elsewhere. Upon their return, they spent another day in the room, and it was even smellier than before.
Ugh.
Finally, more than 5 weeks after the sergeant couple had first checked in, a motel worker found a corpse under the bed in room 222. Following this, Lakeith Moody, the woman's boyfriend at the time of her disappearance, was apprehended and sentenced to life in prison for the strangulation of Sony Millbrook.
Oh my God.
While it's good that the culprit was eventually brought to justice, one has to wonder why it took so long. Why did the hotel staff
thank
not
you.
report the strange smell to the police? And why did the detectives not check the room in which the missing person had been staying? While some people have conspiracies and wacky theories about both aspects of the case,
These police are just
the
bad
most
at their job
likely
sometimes.
answer is plain incompetence.
Yeah.
Thus, whether you're
I
managing
feel
a
that's
hotel or
probably
running
true.
an investigation, it's always important to remember to follow your nose and leave no stone or bed
Hey, geometry.
unturned. In 1981, rumours started to spread about an arcade game like no other. They called it Polybius and said that it had
So I don't know where that was, but there are a lot of cities, specific cities inside the U.S. where police corruption are notoriously high. And when I say corruption, I don't just mean like they're on the take or whatever, but just also not following through on basic information. Lazy. I feel lazy is part of corruption as well.
psychoactive effects like some kind of hallucinogenic drug.
Ooh.
While many have said that games have addictive properties, much like a drug, people claim that Polybius gave users a strong psychological urge to keep playing the game.
Fleeter, is that true?
While many variations of this legend exist,
do video games have hallucinogenic properties? Yeah, I think that's true.
most versions of the story claim that the Polybius arcade cabinets mysteriously appeared in various spots throughout
Polybius.
Portland, Oregon, and caused a slew of deaths and hospital visits immediately after their
Ooh, this
installation.
is a good one. I need to look this up. I want to.
Moreover,
might have
their
a
appearances allegedly
content
coincided
here.
with
Oops.
encounters with government agents and mysterious men in black.
Let me look this up. Men in Black.
Reportedly, users would develop amnesia, hallucinations, insomnia, and other serious symptoms after playing the game. According to the most common version of the tale, all game cabinets disappeared within a month of installation, making the story conveniently difficult to verify for skeptics and journalists at the time. No genuine Polybius arcade cabinets have ever been found, and it's widely considered to be a simple
Interesting.
urban legend. Nonetheless, several games have caused physical and psychological symptoms in various individuals throughout the history of gaming. Around the inception of the Polybius rumour, an Oregonian named Michael Lopez had to call emergency services after playing the game Tempest on an otherwise ordinary day. He claimed to have experienced a severe migraine and had vision issues after playing the game for some time.
Yeah.
According to a newspaper in the area, the bright lights and flashing effects were very disorienting. Thus, the game could have plausibly caused migraines or affected individuals with sensitivities to flashing lights.
Especially someone that has a mild form of epilepsy as well. So they shouldn't play that game. But that was my mom's favorite game, was Tempest. I remember as a kid that she loved that game.
Games, hardware, and visual media were not as well regulated back then, and video game studios often hired very small and inexperienced teams because the medium was still rather new at the time. Consequently, it's no big surprise that bad or harmful video games were occasionally released to the public. Tempest is just
That
one
still
of many
happens
games
today.
throughout history that have caused medical problems for players.
Was that Concord?
For example, in 1982, 18-year-old Peter Bukowski achieved a high score in the game Berserk, and subsequently experienced a cardiac event that led to his death.
Yeah.
While some sources claim that he was obese or suffered from heart disease, according to other reports, he was a healthy young man with no known problems. Whatever the case may be, his death serves as a cautionary tale to temper your excitement and not get too carried away. Otherwise, you could find yourself in an ambulance. The aforementioned deaths and other similar events in the early 1980s likely had some influence on the political.
It probably has more to do with you standing around for long periods of time in one spot without moving, which can cause health issues.
Myth. Moreover, video games were relatively new at the time, so people would ascribe strange and magical properties to arcade cabinets,
like
consoles,
Tron.
cartridges, and other related media. Of course, most people now understand that video games are just complex compilations of binary code that don't contain any supernatural properties.
You take that back.
But it's still a good idea to limit your screen time and not get too excited when you do well in a game.
What? Don't tell me how to live my life.
If you've ever worked in a high-rise office building, you've probably heard the urban legend of a guy pretending to test the strength and sturdiness of the windows and accidentally plunging to his
I think
death.
he was supposed to be a lawyer.
Gary Hoy, a securities law specialist at a company in Toronto, plunged from the 24th floor of the TD Bank Centre in Toronto after jumping through a window in an insane stunt that had no real purpose. People have whispered about unbreakable windows in skyscrapers across the globe for as long as skyscrapers have existed, but nobody ever dared test the urban legend until July 9, 1983.
Yeah.
For some reason, on that day, Gary really wanted to liven up the atmosphere for a group of new interns while conducting a routine tour.
Can you
Upon
imagine this
reaching
happening?
a conference room, the man claimed that the office windows in the office were impossible to break. And to his credit, he wasn't exactly wrong.
Yep.
As he reportedly done many times before, Gary Hoy took position and slammed himself against the window, but that would be the last thing he would ever do. The window was quite durable. It didn't break after the 160-pound man rammed into it.
Yeah.
However, the window did manage to pop out of its frame. Unable to stop his forward momentum, Gary Hoy flew out the window with the window pane and
actually Mythbusters, they did an episode about this where they set up and it even gets even worse than that because it's real. Oh, what? Dumbass? No, Teresa, you can't say dumbass. Dumbass is right out. So whatever you say, don't say dumbass on this channel at all. It's against all the rules to say dumbass. Yeah, you can say that. I was hoping the number of times I said dumbass would show. Yeah, the Mythbusters did this one, and the whole concept of PSI is really interesting, or pounds per square inch. So if you do like air conditioning, forced air conditioning inside of a building, puts a pressure on windows, especially ones that are sealed really well, like skyscrapers, for efficiency. So when you're pumping in air, it creates vacuums and it creates pressure depending on which side of the fan that you're on. It all makes sense, right? And PSI from an air conditioner is really low. It's something like 3 PSI or 2.5 PSI. It's a really low number, but that's per inch. So if you have a floor to ceiling window that's like 10 feet tall by 5 or 6 feet wide, like the case of this building, the amount of pressure on it is like hundreds of pounds of pressure exerting across the entire surface of this window. So it's already like 200 to 300 pounds of pressure being exerted on that window across the entirety of it. So when he hit it, it was just too much for the seal to withstand, because the entire skeleton of all the windows in a building like this, they're all under pressure. They're all kind of bowing out a little bit. So Mythbusters showed that, yeah, this is completely plausible that this could have happened and not been due to like a defective window or something like that.
Died upon impacting the ground just a couple of seconds later. While his death was tragic, thankfully nobody else was injured in this event. The man's recklessness could have easily killed or injured several passers-by if they
That's
would have
true,
been
too.
in the wrong place at the wrong time.
They need to put up a
By
sign.
going out in such a
fallen
way,
warriors.
Gary Hoy will forever be immortalized in
bottom.
television shows and online articles as someone who suffered one of the most avoidable deaths in history.
That's true. That's true.
We've covered the Cecil Hotel in LA numerous times here on our channel.
I think Ghost
It's
Adventures went to the
ignited a
Cecil
morbid
Hotel, didn't
curiosity
they?
in people all over the world, with its dark history of murder and suicide.
That actually wasn't a bad episode from them either. I love the side of this building though. But is this what I think this is? Yeah.
One of America's most notorious serial killers, Richard Ramirez, or the Night Stalker, called this hotel home in 1985. Then there's the Eliza Lamb case that has continued to baffle authorities for years. Lamb's body was found in the hotel water tanks after a lengthy search. The mystery only deepened when the LAPD released the now infamous elevator footage, a vital piece of evidence that shows Lamb acting strangely just hours before she died.
I saw this breakdown of what occurred, but basically the gist of it is that she was having psychological. She had a psychological.
A new piece of footage captured
major
inside the Cecil
psychological issue.
Hotel has been released. TikToker VNG uploaded a short clip taken by their uncle, who's part of a team that's renovating the old hotel.
Yeah.
Take a look at what happens.
Yep.
As you can see, the door seems to open all by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That thing there. It's broken. It's this thing opening the door instead of shutting it. They put it on backwards. Just look.
It does this several times
then
before the clip eventually
You can actually see
ends.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one too. I like that one. I like that it's just reversed.
Even though the hotel has seen plenty of real-life crimes and horrors, the comment section remained divided on this clip. Several commentators noted that many hotels have automatic doors for workers and guests, which could explain why the door is moving. They also noted that it was interesting that the camera person moved his camera every time the door did any movement, meaning any activation light could have turned on off camera.
And then right there,
another commenter noted that the door looked like it was undergoing a test as part of the hotel's fire alarm system, which could explain its rapid opening and closing.
I just love her. He shows this as evidence of something and then debunks it himself. Like, so the curious thing is what is this room behind here? Is it someone's building? Like, is it a I don't know if these are like hotel rooms or are they apartments, but if it's a hotel room or apartment, it doesn't matter. Or is this another section of the building? Right? Because under fire code, you have to be able to exit any maglock door, right? But the part that gets me on this is that the door's not closing. It's not latching when it closes.
Still, others were adamant that this was
See,
proof.
right there, that door should be latched. So in other words, it could be that too. I totally agree with that one. But like, I think that they've defeated this door lock so that they can test the door opening and closing, because that's the keypad. This is a hotel room. That's like that's like a a key lock when you go over there, and then you have to close. You know, you have to pull the handle, so it's one of those security doors. So this is not working, right? And then this is not working. I have a feeling that this is a door close only, and I think you can actually see the hotel room door there. So I think this thing's broken. They put a piece of tape over it, and this thing's broken. Because if this door closed, they would have to open it again.
Of the hotel's haunted history, with some comments saying that they had stayed at the hotel and experienced some very unsettling things firsthand. So what do you think?
Hooked this up
Do we have proof
backwards.
of something ghostly here? Or was the TikToker's uncle having a goof at his niece's expense?
I think it was a goof. Yeah. I think also too this footage is edited to make it look like it's closing and open immediately.
And just
Yeah.
a reminder, if you've
Yeah.
got your own scary photos or videos you'd like to submit to us, head to our brand new Slap
We're
Town
at the Cecil.
subreddit.
Let's make it
There's a
scarier
link
than
in the
it needs to
description
be.
box below. You can also email us at the address that's seen on screen there, submissions@hammedia.net. Many of us like to think that the spirits of loved ones will visit us once they've passed away to watch over us. It's a comforting thought for many, though a creepy one for others. Reddit user mgirl21202 shared to our Slaptam subreddit an example of what she believes to be her grandmother's spirit checking in on her son. In the first picture the Redditor shared, we see a photo of the grandmother in question.
Okay.
The second photo shows us a screenshot taken from some type of security system inside her son's room. Her son is standing to the left of frame with his arms up. Directly behind him in the doorway, we can make out what seems to be an older woman wearing a gown.
If you squint your
The
eyes
Redditor
a lot,
explained that her grandmother looked exactly like the figure does in the photo.
what? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's look at this. Because you know what I also see? I also see a face here. And it looks like it's got two horns coming out of there. And then I also see another face right here. Where there's the nose and the two eyes. And it's just like, whatever is there. And I'm assuming that this is the mother that's there. And then, you know, and she knew it too. But I also like, yeah. It's like your mother also had a hunched back. Your grandmother did, and had a really narrow face that the art like yeah, like it's so weird. And whatever's occurring down here is also like over the kid's face and coming from their hand. So this is such a weird picture. It's a very odd picture. Oh, look, another face. I found another face down there. Like, hey, how many faces could we find in this one shot? Because everything looks like a face.
Even wearing the same gown.
It is not.
Most other Redditors were amazed by this and believed it was indeed the grandma coming to pay her grandson a visit, perhaps even trying to comfort him. A video shared to Reddit by user Ashik Sunil shows something mysterious lurking deep in the woods. Take a look at what was captured on camera.
Okay. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you chat, say hello, because we've got a good one here now. Look at this. Look at this. This is obviously an alien and helicopters.
There appears to be a humanoid figure hiding amongst the foliage of some trees.
You can hear a helicopter. They added helicopter noise in post.
Whatever it is, it has a large head, very long arms, and strange black eyes. It looks directly at the camera before turning and walking away, disappearing from view. Right off the bat, most people believe this video was easily faked. After all, it's simple enough to buy an alien costume and pose for the camera in the woods with some friends. Many also found the video to be somewhat humorous, as the alien seems to be more annoyed than anything else.
Yeah. I'm out of here.
So what do you think? Give the video another look and judge for yourself.
I'm gonna look this up. I found something I want to buy, actually.
User PoLeo shared a picture to Reddit that was taken by a family friend. Seems to show something rather eerie. In the photo, we see three young children standing on the top of what looks to be a small bench leaning against a fence. Just in between the two kids on the right, an unsettling face can be seen. It has piercing yellow eyes, white skin, and a mouth that is agape. Some people in the comments section believe that this was just a person wearing glasses that reflected harshly in a flash. Although, zooming in, you can't make...
Yeah, I wanna show you this. Look at this alien mask. I found this the other day. This is just a silicone mask that you can put on. It's not any special effects or anything like that. But how cool is this mask?
Make out any frames on the person's face. The OP said that this photo was taken adjacent to a cemetery, although where and when remains unknown.
Exactly.
So, until more info comes to hand, the truth behind this eerie photo will have to remain a mystery.
Didn't the Doom guy have a name?
Actor and model Tanalia posted a photo to her Instagram that freaked her followers out. Over the course of several months, Leah and her partner Nick Hogan, son of former wrestling star Hulk Hogan, posted that strange things were happening around their house that they couldn't quite explain. Then in August 2021, Leah posted a series of still frames from her CCTV security system. At first glance, nothing looks
He does have a name,
out of
Doom
place.
Guy. You were right, it's just Doom Guy.
In
Wow.
the second screenshot, we can see a figure standing in a doorway at the very end of the living space. The figure looks to be a woman wearing a black dress.
She also has two heads, too.
The night this footage was captured, Leah heard some strange noises coming from their cinema room. When she checked the security app on her phone, she saw the strange person standing in their kitchen. Close friends who saw the image were freaked out, but thought the figure looked strangely similar to Leah herself. Some comments agreed that it felt paranormal in nature, but a lot of people said it was probably a prowler and that she should call the police. So what do you think's been captured on Tanalia's security camera
I didn't know about that.
Ghost or a very real intruder? Let me know what you think down below.
Neither. It's a bunch of gobbledygook noise that you have in your freaking camera. Don't make things out that aren't there.
This next clip comes from the Facebook page Zona del Terra. It seems to show something eerie unfolding on a quiet country road. In the video...
All right. CCTV camera at night. Bad quality.
We can see CCTV footage of a car parked on the side of a street. A man comes to get something out of the car when something strange happens. Watch.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Okay, so he's in the car. Nothing funky happening. I do see movement over here. This place is like full of stuff that is moving around.
Watching that again, we can make out what seems to be a transparent figure that appears directly behind the man. Whatever it is, it seems to push the man from behind. The Flash, X-Men Mutant, A Vengeful Ghost. These were some of the ideas thrown around by Facebook users, though no one seemed quite sure what was actually happening in the clip. So take another look and let your theories rip in the comment section down below.
No, I'm gonna go with like something like some sort of like stealth soldier attacking him in the middle of the night for no reason. Just didn't like the guy.
UFO videos will always
Develop
divide
some sort
the
of stealth
internet,
technology
and a
that he
video
could just
posted
go
by
and hit
Hawaii
people when they go to their
Munja
cars.
on Instagram is apparently no different. The clip has caused a lot of debate on whether it's further proof of the existence of aliens or just another fake floating around the internet. Take a look at what was captured.
What? What are we even looking at?
We can see the sky is filled with what looks to be hundreds of bright circular objects.
Dude, you need to clean your camera. It looks like little bacteria floating. Actually, it looks like something else to me.
At one point, the camera holder zooms out to give us a better perspective of just how far away the objects are. The original poster of the video noted that the UFOs seem to be moving independently of each other, jockeying for their position in the sky.
It looks like a petri dish of like bacteria or some sort of
The
sample.
Instagram user does go on to suggest that perhaps
something.
this was simply a group of balloons released during some type of celebration,
No.
maybe a wedding or funeral.
No.
Many of the comments agreed that these were just balloons or perhaps lanterns and that there was
But
nothing more to worry about.
We don't have any image
However,
that it
the
was
sheer
actually
number
the
of
sky.
objects is certainly bizarre, and it doesn't seem
Like, he never shows like this is above trees. Like, we hear noises in the background, but that's not proof of anything. I do like the balloon theory though, but
quite right that many balloons or lanterns would be released into the atmosphere.
yeah, I agree with that.
Unfortunately, there's no times, dates, or even a location attached to this piece of footage, so it's hard to investigate it further. So as it stands, it'll have to be added to a growing number of mysterious UFO videos that float
It's not a
around the
UFO. He
internet.
didn't even show that it's in the sky. Well, I guess it could be unidentified floating objects. We'll just go with that. It's
Thunderstorms
unidentified
can be scary
floating
enough
objects.
all on their own, what with the roaring thunder, sudden lightning, and torrential rain. But what if something paranormal was added to the mix?
Ooh.
That seems as though it could be the case for a video uploaded to YouTube by Chris Brandy 602. What was supposed to be a simple check of a home security camera quickly turned very strange for this YouTuber.
Okay. All right. So we got to figure out what we're looking at here first, because this is a mess, right? So let's take a look at it. And my guess is that this is a security camera inside of a house. This is what this red light is. I have a feeling this might be a Nest Cam. It kind of looks like it a little bit. So this big circle here and everything in here is inside the house. This is not. This is a wall outside the house. And this reflection is the camera seeing itself in its own reflection. Like this line here, this little dot, all of this is the reflection of itself inside, because this is an inside camera pointed towards the outside.
The first minute of the video shows us the exterior of their home.
Yeah. Okay, got a flash of light.
The description suggests that the YouTuber was checking the camera for lightning as their power had just gone out for a few seconds. Everything seems normal at first until something rather unnerving can be seen. Take a look at what the camera caught. We can see a very quick glimpse of a ghostly figure passing between the two cars.
Sure. That's interesting too. Let's see. Trying to get it on a frame of that thing. It's moving so fast. Wow, look at all that. You see all that pixelation there? It's not pixelation. There's another term for it.
We can see that the figure...
Right. So, if you look at all of the pixelation, it's anti-aliasing is what it is. The jaggeds that are appearing. What a
There is
bad.
slim.
It's a person walking by. Okay.
Whatever it is, it's only visible for a second before it seems to vanish into thin air.
Yep. You can
While
see the
YouTuber
reflection in the
believes
car
that they may
window.
have caught an alien in this footage,
You
its
didn't.
sudden disappearance has other viewers suggesting it could be a ghost.
Nope.
There is a chance that this simply could be a person walking
Just
by
a
the camera.
person walking by the
However,
camera.
one does wonder why anyone would be walking around in such a terrible storm. Not
I don't know, maybe they're going home. Maybe they're going to go get groceries. Maybe their friend doesn't have power or their house got struck by lightning. Who
to
cares
mention
what
that
it
it
is?
also seems like they vanish.
But it's just a person walking
So what do you
by.
think it could be? Lanky alien visitor, a spirit, or someone who just got caught in the rain? Let us know what you think down below. The last thing any of us want to see while out on the
Oh, that's a cool
ocean is
picture.
something large and terrifying emerging from the
Ooh,
water.
yes.
Unfortunately, that doesn't just happen in sea monster movies. If
Ooh,
this
where are
clip,
they?
posted to TikTok by When Did We Forget, is anything to go by. In the video, we see a man in a small boat on the ocean.
I wonder where they are. It looks like maybe Greenland or Iceland or something like that. It's a pretty area. Yep.
Then, as the camera turns back to face the man, we see a horrifying sight. Take a look.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see,
You
an
need to move.
enormous object appears to rise out of the ocean, creating a huge wave in the process. As usual, there were plenty of theories as to what this could be, with everything from a sea monster to an artificial wave being suggested.
No, it's
However,
not.
several TikTokers claim that this was actually the result of an iceberg flipping over in the water.
It's exactly
as
what
seen
it
in
is.
similar clips.
Yep.
That would explain the whitish color that we can see the object has.
That's exactly what it is. It's scary
Still,
because it
there's
can
no
create
denying
waves
seeing this
that
in
can actually
person
cause
must have
many
been a
tsunamis.
terrifying experience. Hopefully, all who witnessed it were able to make it out of there safely.
There's actually been reports of tsunamis that have occurred more inland, like in like locks and channels of inside land. So it doesn't even have to occur out in the ocean or out in the sea. You can have a tsunami that can wipe out entire towns, and just based off of like landslides that go into small bodies of water is enough damage that it can kill a lot of people. I think that's an iceberg flipping. I think they're right. Or separating from the
Exploring
ground up.
supposedly haunted locations takes bravery, and YouTuber Dark Ghost Paranormal apparently has plenty of it. On this occasion, the ghost hunter decides to explore
He
an
looks
old
familiar.
house that is said to be a hotbed for paranormal activity.
I think I've seen this stuff
In the
before.
first video, the YouTuber wanders around the property while using his equipment to listen for EVPs.
I think I've actually seen this video before.
He hears strange noises from time to time, but isn't able to catch anything on camera.
I wonder where they are. So that poster's from 1994. Okay.
That is until about 15 minutes into the clip. As the YouTuber begins to speak, we hear a strange squeaky sound in the background.
Yeah, I was about to say, this looks like some sort of like Soviet bloc kind of country. Probably a house that nobody's been in for 20 years. Or the accordion. Yeah, I've seen this
The
one.
YouTuber quickly turns the camera to face the noise, and we can see an accordion sitting on a table in the near distance. Watch what happens.
Actually, I don't know if
The
I've seen
accordion
this
appears
one
to
or
start
not.
playing all on its own.
Do you see the table moving? You see the table moving? Yeah. Let your friend leave.
Later, as he attempts to
So I have seen this guy before, and his stuff is obviously staged, and obviously a friend that is there with him.
seance to speak with any resident spirits, something eerie is caught on film.
And I think so. The reason why I especially now know who it is the video that I saw also had an accordion and also played on its own, but wasn't at this location. I think he carries that accordion around with him that plays as a trigger object. So, because the place that I saw him in, yeah, he also gets a lot of that.
As you can see, there's a disembodied shadow that passes by on the wall.
Yep. And I think he also has like
in a later video,
camera set up that auto trigger for based on
house in hopes of catching
movement and stuff
activity.
like that.
He explores various rooms. Then, 9 minutes into the video, something haunting happens.
Ooh.
Take a look. As you can see, to the right of frame, just under the mirror, some kind of object is suddenly ejected into the air and disappears from view. Soon after, both the mirror and sleeping bag on the couch begin to move all on their own, as if manipulated by some sort of unseen force. This YouTuber is one of the more popular ghost hunters on the platform, often praised for his bravery during moments that would petrify most people. The fact that he went back to the house even after everything he witnessed in the first video definitely says a lot about his character. So what was causing all of the commotion? Was it a restless spirit, a demon perhaps? Viewers continue to remain divided on the matter.
Yeah,
While
because
there's no clear
they know that he's
one
faking
thing's
it.
Definite. This is not a house for the faint of heart. Hopefully the YouTuber decides that 2 visits was more than enough, as another one may not please the presence that seems to occupy this space.
Sure. Yeah, this stuff is he regurgitates a lot of evidence.
In this next clip, uploaded to TikTok by user Spooky Boy, we see something strange floating through the air. In the brief clip, we see a shot of the night sky. Lights from the buildings in the background illuminate the area. However, it's the dark object floating in the air that has many viewers confused.
Mary Poppins.
At first, it's hard to make out in any great detail, but a close-up soon reveals that the mysterious object seems to have a human form.
I mean,
it continues to glide slowly from right to left before the clip eventually finishes. While some viewers were quick to joke that the figure resembled Superman, Mary Poppins, or even Harry Potter,
nailed it.
Others took the sighting a little more seriously. Could it be a human with a jetpack similar to the one we reported on last week, or even some kind of alien being? It seems that this is one mystery that won't be solved anytime soon.
It's the only thing that I say it's weird about it is that its brightness or its lack of brightness is different from everything else. Like, if you notice the brightness of where it kind of looks like it is, this might be closer to the camera than it seems. I bet it is.
There's a lot of creatures that roam around Australia, from deadly spiders and snakes to some that sound scary but really aren't, like the Tasmanian devil. This YouTube video, uploaded by Warmonger, shows us something that was supposedly spotted in the small town of Rocky Gully in Western Australia. Take a look at what was captured.
Honestly, Australia doesn't need... Yeah, we've seen this one. Australia doesn't need cryptids. They don't need any more cryptids than they have. Everything there is already dangerous and is ready to kill you at any moment.
You can see a bizarre creature running on all fours.
And it just looks like a
It
person
moves swiftly, disappearing into the darkness.
acting all crazy.
While several viewers believe that this was simply a human, one actually claimed that his friends had seen a similar creature in Adelaide on 2 separate occasions. If this is true, then perhaps there really is an
Santa lives in
undiscovered
Finland, yep.
cryptid roaming the vast outback of Australia. Give the video another look and tell
Yeah.
me what you think it is in the comment section down below.
I've seen rare exports, man. I know all about Santa and Finland, man. If you've never watched it before, anybody watching, you should watch Rare Exports. It's a great series. I think we talked about this before too.
This next video, uploaded to TikTok
Where the
by user
Finnish
Paranormal Vids, was meant
hunt
to be just a
Santas
cute clip of a kid playing the
that
piano.
appear at
Take a look at what was captured though.
that go to malls and stuff like that. That they're actually hunted in the wild, and then taught how to deal with children.
As you can see, something appears to move in the background.
Mm-hmm.
A closer inspection reveals that it appears to be a toy train slowly rolling forward.
Uneven floor? Yeah, I'm gonna go with uneven floor.
As there doesn't seem to be anything pushing or pulling the train forward, it's easy to turn to the supernatural for answers.
No,
Could
it's
it
not.
be the work of a ghostly child who simply wanted a play date with the girl? Or is there something more sinister at work here?
Sinister.
Hopefully the abnormalities cease
I do like
and
how
the
he
girl
says
can get
sinister.
back to practicing the piano in peace.
It's great. Yeah, I'm gonna say uneven floor. I'm gonna say that.
While old, dilapidated houses and eerie mist-filled graveyards seem like the perfect place to spot a ghost, sometimes it can be the most mundane settings that provide the backdrop for potentially paranormal videos. In these next 2 videos shared to TikTok by Paranormal
This
Vids,
one seems familiar
it seems
too.
that even
Why
a
does this
simple
one seem
trip to
familiar?
the grocery store might be something to reconsider. In the video, we see what's most likely security camera footage of the interior of the supermarket. Take a look at what the camera's captured.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's a strange blurry shape that appears in the center of frame.
Not to be confused with the other blurry shapes that are literally everywhere outside of the center of frame. But you know, let's focus on this blurry one, not this blurry one.
While based on this footage alone, it would be easy to dismiss the shape as dust or even an insect on the lens. However, what happens in the next video will likely change your mind. Take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the shape appears, though this time, just after it vanishes, several objects tumble from the grocery shelf.
Maybe you have possums in your
This
shelves.
footage
You don't
is
know.
certainly a head scratcher. Items don't usually tumble to the floor for no good reason.
They do all the time. You're a liar.
One wonders then if the shape was actually a poltergeist, possibly attempting to let its presence be known to those around it. Whatever the case may be, one thing seems certain. It might be wise to keep your eye out for the paranormal, even while you're doing your weekly shop.
Will do. I'll check out for ghosts in the supermarket. Maybe I'm just going to go up to random people and ask them if they're ghosts.
Sometimes it's not potentially paranormal sightings that cause the most fear in humans. There are still many places and situations that people would prefer.
So Teresa, I'm coming up with a couple of shirt designs that are just gonna have 100% possum. So that's just gonna be my reaction to everything. It's a possum.
To avoid in the natural world. The perfect example is the murky depths of the ocean. In this video posted to TikTok by Velvet Horror, we see a scuba diver casually swimming around, when suddenly something
How do you know he's casually
absolutely
swimming? You don't
chilling
know what he's
happens.
doing.
Take a look.
Don't put words in his mouth.
If we watch that again, we can see out of the haze emerges an enormous
It looks like a tiger shark. Yeah, it's a tiger shark or reef shark.
the shark hits the diver in the back of the head, seeming to take
Bonk.
a tentative bite as he does so. The diver ducks down in shock, just turning their head in time to see the large beast swimming away. It seems that everyone who's commented on the video so far agrees that this footage is downright horrifying.
That's scary.
Judging by the size of the shark, the diver was extremely lucky that it didn't decide to take a larger bite.
Nope.
There's little doubt that it could have fit the diver's whole head inside its mouth.
Nope. Sharks are not as dangerous as people make them out to be. They're just scary.
Now, if you're enjoying our longer compilations, then check out that one on the
Let's
top
see.
there. Otherwise, there's a...
Okay, I'll let you know, Teresa. So, okay, what video are we gonna do next, guys? So, let me switch over to intermission. Let's figure out what video we want to watch next, because we can't just do Slap Tam all day, even though he has freaking 1,200 videos. Actually, and I even take that back. I think it was only 1,200 videos in that one playlist that he had. He has another playlist here that's got 885. So we could do a nukes. I'm thinking let's hit a nukes top 5. I think nukes has got they're like the gold standard of these shows here too. And well, he's going from 12 days ago. I don't know if we've watched this one or not. Yeah. See, this is the problem too that I have. The Sonic 3 trailer. I can't debunk
Argentina
it.
And
Let's see here. Okay, I've got this one. This is a nukes one. So 10 scary videos, or are you a big baby? I'm a big baby. Totally a big baby.
This next creepy footage was captured live on national TV in Argentina. So in Argentina, there's a program called Phenomenos, which is broadcast live and covers notable weather events in Argentina and around the world. The show's co-host, Matias Bertolotti, is doing a normal weather forecast for the upcoming weekend, when this happens.
Por eso es el día quizás de estos próximos días, porque se viene la humedad y ahora sí, la esperada lluvia en la zona central, que están esperándola muchísimo, asociado con las perturbaciones de mal tiempo, va a realzar todo esto.
The program switches to a live security camera overlooking the boardwalk of the city of Corrientes. But something,
you know, I think here. Let's pause it on
translucent can be seen
right about there.
Across the
there. That looks good. I'm gonna do a video one day where I'm gonna look at what causes these kind of video issues, and when we say video compression error. Right, because if you make Finnish scary thingies live, yeah, I'll look. You know what? I'm gonna look to see if there's any Finnish specific ghosts or video next after this one. That's a good idea, actually. So I want to explain this one a little bit because through these videos we're going to probably come across a lot of these things and what the idea of a compression error is, or a video compression error. That when you see video, you're not seeing raw footage. Raw footage is way too large to stream over the internet. It was the same thing with audio files back in the 90s. That's why MP3 was such a huge change for audio, was because you could get what would have been way too big of a download, you know, like one song being like, 14 megs, which during that time was way too large. You could get it down to 2 megs, and then you're downloading these files really rapidly. But the audio quality wasn't amazing. It was just better than, you having to download the entire thing. And what it does is it takes out all the parts of the audio and the video that don't need to be there. So with this, what occurs is it's looking at this image and it goes, I'm only going to update what has changed in the video. So you're effectively looking at a static shot or a static piece of information. So it goes, okay, here is the first clip, and I'm only going to update what changes in this clip. So I don't have to send a frame every like 30 times. Well, let's just say it's 24 frames a second for TV, which is Rec 709, right? So 24 times a second, I'm going to have to send you a frame, and this frame is 720p. That's a lot of data. Nobody does that. What they do is they compress it. So what is happening is, as the compression is the video compression algorithm is looking at it, it doesn't have enough information of the person's legs or here to say, I need to update this area around here to show it to you. So that's why it's called a video compression error. The better the video compression, the better the video is going to look. So if you go to like Stats for Nerds here, you can actually look at this. You can look at what the video compression rating is. So we can see we're at 1080p at 30 frames a second, right? And I love this. This is the stuff that I love through. But here it is right here, AV01. That is the compression rate for the video, and we're using the Opus audio compression. These are the two best algorithms for YouTube. That if you're looking at AV01 and Opus, that's the highest quality with the smallest file size. You can also see here that we're running in the Rec 709 color space. Yeah, Stats for Nerds, baby. And I'm a big nerd. Big nerd. But you can also see here too, look, our connection speed, the network activity, everything. So it shows you all this information. And if you go to a video that's uploaded incorrectly on YouTube, that changes to a different format. It's not AV01. It's a completely different one, and it changes the bit rate so bad that you get banding and distortion, especially in the blacks. So we can ignore all that, and we can imagine that this is coming from a webcam at this location. There's no one live here. There's no one with a studio camera. This is just some webcam that they have set up. And they are notorious for terrible compression. That's all this is, because they're trying to get details that there's someone trying to break into your house or something like that to you without using tons of your internet bandwidth to show you the details. So you're going to get stuff exactly like this. More information. I thought that was also Wick.
Field and out of frame.
Yeah. So it's just
a strange figure.
It's not moving enough for the algorithm to go, I need to send you all the information.
Quickly,
that's it.
Almost as if whoever or whatever this is,
and actually
is running.
Watch
a shock
right there.
viewer.
You see? Do you see as the person? Watch when the person hits about this area, you'll see that the entire grass area, it shifts to a different kind of color and then back again, because it actually does try to send updated info. Watch.
A shocked
Boom there.
viewer is watching the show and
it
shares
goes blurry
the
and then
to
back
Instagram.
again.
It quickly gets a massive amount of attention. By the end of the program, Matthias looks at the footage live on air and says that both he and the TV crew have no idea what this is.
Oh, gotcha. You're talking about the video algorithm. When you right click on it,
seem to have any legs.
it just means more information. I like Stats with Nerds better, man. Stats for Nerds is much better.
No estamos jodiendo, esto pasó en vivo.
This is happening live. We fought a
cámaras de paso de la patria. Ay, ¿qué es eso? No tiene patas.
It's just a guy running. And actually, you could see his legs for the second one. Look. If I can get it. I hope I get it right on there. Let me see if I can. Right there. If you see, you can actually see his legs, because now the color of his legs is enough difference that it updates for the tree. So you can obviously see that there's a person there. And then, see, look. Boom there. Yeah.
Ay, ¿qué es eso? ¿No tiene patas?
And the cool thing too is that if you look at like rain and snow is really hard to take photos of because of that compression
a hotel
issue.
which sits right across the
Or
road from a
to,
cemetery
video.
that is the final resting place
Videotape.
of nearly 19,000 bodies. With a location like that, it's no wonder that the hotel has built up quite a bit of a reputation for being haunted. Now Jenna is working the front desk at 5 in the morning when she and one of her coworkers, Tim, spot something very odd on the lobby security
What are we
camera.
gonna find? So another
It's not the hotel
CCTV.
that's haunted, it's the graveyard.
Okay.
Oh.
So this service road here where Danny and I used to park, that's the old Stony Plain Road.
You see something?
Do you really think
What is it?
when they dug up all the bodies here, that was a good one, moved them over to the graveyard?
They dug up the bodies and what?
That's what we're thinking too. Or a spider web, a really small spider web that's in front of the camera, close to the camera.
See it again.
And then it sits in the chair.
He's trying to sit in the chair. Sometimes he'll stay there for a minute.
He is. How do you know this?
Well, because Danny and I caught him earlier when Danny was in the games room locking up. I freaked the out because I saw it. And then I tried to do a video review to record it, and it wouldn't let me.
A faint, pale figure can be seen moving around the hotel
He
lobby
says something
and
interesting
sitting
too. He
down
says he
on one
tries
of
to
the
record it,
chairs
but
before
couldn't.
just disappearing completely. Jenna's coworker Tim claims that he's seen the bizarre figure many times before,
but
and
in
he
person
believes that it
or
has
only
wandered
in the
over
camera?
from the cemetery across the road. But lost spirit or not, I leave that up to you to decide. Mirror, mirror.
I mean, if you got what's
Melina
smoking
Zunder
in
is
front of it,
celebrating Mother's Day
you
in
got
her
you
home
got
in
ghost
Nova
vaping.
Trinto, Brazil. She records herself as she enjoys a Brazilian dessert treat and shows the thoughtful present
I
that
want a
she
Brazilian
received from her
dessert treat.
son. But then something happens that shocks her to her core.
To her core.
Gente, eu vou comer com vocês o melhor brigadeiro da vida, que é da doceria da Lulu. E olha que bonitinho que eu ganhei no Dia das Mães atrasado, mas ela me deu. É um